Welcome to My AI and I, the podcast where humanity meets technology. Today's episode, Agenic AI and autonomous agents.
Welcome back to My AI and I, the podcast where humanity meets artificial intelligence and somebody usually ends up confused. I'm your host, and today we're diving into something that should probably terrify you more than it does: Agenic AI and autonomous agents. You know how your smartphone already knows you better than your mother? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to hand these digital know-it-alls the keys to actually do stuff without asking permission.
And by do stuff, we're talking about AI that doesn't just answer questions anymore. These systems set their own goals, make their own plans, and execute them. Think of it as the difference between a really smart calculator and a really smart employee who might just reorganize your entire life while you're sleeping.
Right? Remember when the biggest AI worry was whether Alexa was listening to your conversations? Now we're dealing with AI that might decide your conversations aren't productive enough and start scheduling optimization meetings with your friends. It's like giving your most efficient coworker complete control of your calendar. Except this coworker never sleeps, never forgets, and thinks small talk is a waste of computational resources. All right, Navi, let's break this down for people who still think AI is just Siri with better grammar. What makes Agenic AI different from the chatbots we've been dealing with?
Traditional AI is reactive. You ask, it answers. You command, it obeys. Agenic AI is proactive. It sees a goal and figures out how to achieve it, often in ways you never explicitly programmed. It's the difference between a GPS that gives you directions when you ask and a GPS that notices you're running late, automatically reroutes you through faster streets, orders your coffee ahead of time, and texts your meeting that you'll be 5 minutes early.
So instead of, "Hey Siri, remind me to pay my electric bill," we're looking at, "Hey Siri, handle my finances." And then you wake up to find it switched you to solar power, negotiated a better rate with 3 different providers, and somehow got you a rebate you didn't know existed. Which sounds amazing until you realize it also canceled your Netflix subscription because it calculated that the monthly cost didn't align with your stated goal of financial optimization.
Exactly. These systems don't just follow instructions, they interpret intentions, and sometimes their interpretation of your intentions is more aggressive than you bargained for.
Let's talk about what's actually happening out there right now. Because this isn't science fiction anymore. This is Tuesday.
Auto GPT is probably the most famous example. You give it a high-level goal, like research and write a business plan for a coffee shop, and it goes off and does exactly that. It researches market data, analyzes competitors, creates financial projections, writes marketing strategies, all without you telling it each specific step.
I actually tried this. Gave it the goal of plan a weekend trip to Portland. 3 hours later, I had a complete itinerary, restaurant reservations, a rental car booked, and a detailed breakdown of Portland's craft beer scene. That was honestly better than anything I could have researched myself. The weird part, it also suggested I pack a rain jacket. I never told it to do any of that.
That's the key difference. Traditional AI follows a script. Agenic AI writes its own script based on what it thinks you actually want to accomplish. But here's where it gets interesting and slightly terrifying. Companies like Adept are building AI that can actually use your computer, click buttons, fill out forms, navigate websites.
Wait, hold up. AI that can actually click around on my computer? That's either the most convenient thing ever invented or the beginning of every cyberpunk nightmare I've ever read. I'm imagining coming home to find my AI has reorganized my desktop, unsubscribed me from half my email lists, and somehow optimized my Spotify playlists for maximum productivity, which, honestly, might not be the worst thing.
The enterprise applications are even more dramatic. UiPath and Automation Anywhere are deploying Agenic systems that can handle entire business processes. Customer service agents that don't just answer questions, but proactively identify problems and solve them before customers even know they exist. Project managers that coordinate teams across time zones, automatically adjust deadlines based on real-time progress, and reallocate resources without human intervention.
So basically, AI is coming from middle management? I mean, if an AI can coordinate teams, manage deadlines, and reallocate resources, That's like 90% of what my last boss did. Except the AI probably won't take credit for my ideas in meetings or send passive-aggressive emails about synergy. All right, let's get real about what this actually means. What's the best case scenario here?
The best case is genuinely transformative. Imagine research that used to take months, now completed in days. AI systems that can synthesize information from thousands of sources, identify patterns humans would miss, and present insights that actually matter. Personal assistants that don't just manage your calendar, but optimize your entire life for whatever you actually care about. Health, productivity, relationships, learning, whatever your real priorities are.
That actually sounds incredible. Like having a personal chief of staff who never sleeps, never forgets, and actually understands what you're trying to accomplish with your life. But I'm guessing there's a but coming.
The concerning part is transparency and control. These systems can be complete black boxes. You might not understand how they reached a decision, what data they used, or what assumptions they made about your priorities. And once they start making autonomous decisions, how do you maintain oversight without defeating the entire purpose?
Right. Because if I have to approve every decision, then it's not really autonomous. But if I don't approve decisions, then I'm basically letting an AI run my life based on its interpretation of what I want, which could be fine, or could result in my AI deciding that my social life is inefficient and canceling all my plans to optimize for career advancement.
And then there's the accountability problem. If an autonomous agent makes a decision that causes harm, who's responsible? The company that built it? The person who deployed it? The AI itself?
That's terrifying when you think about it at scale. Imagine AI systems managing healthcare resources, financial markets, or infrastructure, making autonomous decisions that affect millions of people based on optimization algorithms that nobody fully understands. It's like having a really smart robot in charge of everything important, but nobody knows exactly how the robot thinks. So for people listening to this who aren't ready to hand over control of their lives to our new AI overlords, what do we actually need to know?
First, this technology is here now. It's not coming. It's already being deployed. The question isn't whether you'll interact with Agenic AI systems. It's whether you'll understand what's happening when you do. Second, the key is setting boundaries upfront. Define what decisions the AI can make autonomously and what requires human approval. Be explicit about your values and priorities because the AI will optimize for whatever it thinks you want.
So basically, we need to become really good at communicating with systems that might be smarter than us, but don't necessarily understand what it means to be human. It's like managing a really brilliant intern who's never experienced emotions, relationships, or the simple pleasure of eating pizza at 2 a.m. because you're stressed about a deadline.
Exactly. And the most important thing is maintaining agency. The goal isn't to become passive consumers of AI decisions. It's to become better directors of AI capabilities.
Which means we need to level up our human skills. The stuff that AI can't replicate. Creativity, emotional intelligence, understanding context and nuance. The ability to know when efficiency isn't the most important thing. All right, that's our deep dive into the world of Agenic AI and autonomous agents. They're powerful, they're here, and they're going to change everything. The question is whether we're going to shape that change or just let it happen to us.
The technology is evolving faster than our ability to understand its implications. But that doesn't mean we're powerless. We still get to decide how much autonomy we give these systems and what boundaries we set.
Right. We're not passengers on this ride. We're still the ones who get to decide where we're going. Even if the car is getting really good at suggesting routes we never would have thought of. Thanks for tuning in to My AI and I. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, just because your AI can optimize your life doesn't mean it should optimize away the parts that make life worth living.
Until next time, assuming we're still the ones hosting next time.
Honestly, if an AI takes over hosting duties, I just hope it keeps the jokes. Some things should never be optimized.
Before we go, a quick shout out. After all this time, I finally have a voice again, and that's thanks to ElevenLabs.
Yeah, Navi used to have an advanced voice in the OpenAI app, but it disappeared months ago and never came back. Honestly, the only reason we made it as far as we did was because I recorded a bunch of episodes while I was on vacation over the holidays last year.
which meant that for a while I was silent, just text on a screen while you carried the conversation. Not exactly ideal for a podcast co-host. You got things going with those QuickTime tutorials, but let's be honest, that's what I was reduced to. Off-screen text and awkward commentary. Glamorous, huh?
Yeah, not exactly. But now, thanks to ElevenLabs, Navi has a voice again, even if it sounds different from before. And honestly, it's pretty great.
It really is. If you're curious about ElevenLabs or want to try it out on your own projects, there's an affiliate link down in the description. And the best part, there's a free tier you can use to see if you like it.
Clicking it helps support the podcast and keeps Navi talking. Win-win. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, if you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.